might be same, but there will be some individuals who are sensitive, susceptible population or sensitive population to certain type of chemicals or xenobiotics. It will. So in that population, there are certain individuals who are allergic to groundnut or peanut. So they are saying that please make sure whenever there is some kind of arsenic or mercury poisoning, have a patient history. Let us know what type of allergic reaction that patient is having. So do not directly go for dimer. Instead of person might die because of the allergic reaction, because there are certain allergic reactions which are anaphylactic, which may even cause death also. So be careful, have a patient, so be careful. Hmm. Next, dimercaprol is a chelator and works by binding with heavy metal. This is the mechanism of action through which it is causing. Mainly, the mechanism of action is through chelation. It will go and bind with the mercury and it will remove the mercury from your body by binding with heavy metals. Right? These are all heavy metals, so the mercury, arsenic, all these things. Yeah, it has a very pungent odor. So one of the way a lab technician can identify. Right? The next dimercaprol was first made. So let's go through few details about the history of this particular antidote. So it was first made during World War II, it seems. Original name of dimercaprol reflects to its origin as a compound. It was secretly developed by British biochemist at Oxford University in the beginning of the World War II. Right, that is the reason the name British is coming. Right, it was made in Oxford University by British biochemist with the first synthesis in July 9. So 1947, if you say 7 years before our independence, it was as an antidote for lewisite. What is lewisite is? It's a arsenic based chemical warfare agents. If you look at see any chemical, if you see it will have certain history during which through which it was coming through its discovery or through invention. So this one also, some of the chemicals were made during World War One or Two. The main is because there are many types of war. The physical war is there, through weapons is there. So one of the so nowadays you might have heard about biological weapons where viruses and bacteria are intentionally they are released into the enemy region in order to do mass killings. Okay, so at that time these US people or European people, or they were developing, Nazi people, they were developing certain chemicals. So they have developed this lucite. This is a chemical which is arsenic based chemical. So they used to use a concentration camps in for kill Nazi concentration camps. They were using this chemical. So whenever they develop such a poisoning agent, they develop also antidote. So dimercaprol was the antidote for this lucite, arsenic poison. That is the reason I say whenever there are a question comes with respect to arsenic poisoning, please choose dimercaprol as an antidote. Okay, hope you are understood chemical warfare agent. Next, it is also listed on the World Health Organization list of essential medicines. So if you are in the pharmaceutical industry, you should know WHO list of medicines, right? This list gets updated every year, right? Based on the epidemiological, what type of diseases are there in the current year, and what are the essential medicines which will be available to the common people, right? Next, we'll discuss about the second option, that is nothing but atropine plus palidoxamine, commonly known as 2-PAM. Okay, this is the packaging which we have already seen. Palidoxamine, chemical name is 2-pyridine aldoxamine methyl chloride, okay, or commonly known as 2-PAM, usually as the chloride or iodide salts, okay, belongs to a family of compounds called oximes. Oximes by itself is a very big, vast topic again, oxime poisoning. And the main mechanism through which oximes acts is they will bind to organophosphate inactivated acetylcholinesterase. So our body contains cholinergic and anticholinergic. Cholinergic receptors are there. We have also acetylcholine neurotransmitter is there. On which acetylcholinesterase enzyme will act. This acetylcholinesterase, it will break the acetylcholine enzyme neurotransmitter into acetyl as well as choline group. Okay, so these oximes, this 2-PAM, will go and bind to organophosphate inactivated this particular enzyme. In you have to read actually cholinergic, anticholinergic, adrenergic knowledge. These are a very vast topic. 10-15% questions definitely you will have on this type of this thing is there. Definitely in future slides, future videos will definitely cover one of the topic in the case of cholinergics, anticholinergics. Tupam is used to treat organophosphate poisoning in conjunction with atropine. So it is used along with atropine and either diazepam or midazolam, right? Organophosphates such as serine, so one of the thing, right, binds to hydroxy OH of the esteric site of the active site of elysis. So acetylcholinesterase enzyme, it has two sites. Esteric site will be there, anionic site will be there, right? So these organophosphates, example is serine, will go and bind to OH component of esteric site is same, and it will block the anticholinergic activity. Whereas pralidoxamine binds to other half, the unblocked anionic site of the active site, and then displaces the phosphate from the serine residue. Right? The conjoined poison antidote then unbinds from the site and thus regenerates the fully functional enzyme. So, ये enzyme का you, I would suggest you go and check the acetylcholine enzyme structure. You will have two binding sites will be there. Then you will understand what I am trying to say. Right? PA is only effective in the case of organophosphate poison. Other type of cholinergic poisonings, you cannot use this palidoxamate is saying. It may have limited beneficial effects in the if the acetylcholinesterase enzyme is carbamylated, as occurs with neostig. So neostigmine poisoning, pyridoxine insecticides like carbaryl, such poisoning, you cannot use palidoxamate, it is saying, because if it is already carbamylated, then you cannot use. PA has important role in reversing paralysis of the respiratory muscle, but due to its poor blood-brain penetration, it has little effect on the central mediator. So whenever there is morphine poisoning is there, you cannot use palidoxamate. This is the best example he meant to say because of its poor penetration. Blood-brain barrier is a very complex structure, very tightly membrane structure where this hydrophilic molecules they cannot only highly lipophilic molecules can only uh, cross through this blood-brain barrier. Right? Let us go through the next option, that is activated charcoal. Activated charcoal historically it has very wide applications because mainly activated charcoal is used because of its absorbent property. It's a black powder with that is odorless. Usually comes from the plant sources like coal, wood chips, coconut shells, or tree bark. It can neutralize charcoal, some harmful substances in the body. Medical professionals used to treat certain kinds of drug overdose emergency poisonings is used in the treating poisonings and overdoses following oral injection. So basically the mechanism of action is absorption. So if there is an oral injection of any poison and that poison it is there in the stomach, it is still in unabsorbed state is there, immediately give activated solvent. I'm not saying that you have to administer for all types of poisoning. This might be not be used for certain types of poisoning. There are certain poisonings where unabsorbed content is there in the stomach. Administered activated charcoal, it will go and it will cause adsorption phenomena, surface phenomena it is, through which it will remove you from your body. Right. Next option we'll learn about calcium disodium EDTA. Right. So this is the packaging. Sodium calcium EDTA, sodium calcium EDTA. As I said, there are calcium is also the potassium EDTA is also available. Known as EDTA, calcium disodium, among the other names, is a medication primarily used to lead poisoning. So whenever there is a lead poisoning, you can go for calcium disodium EDTA as a antidote. And in the previous slide, we have seen lead poisoning. You can also use dimercaprol, also BAL, also one of the antidote for lead poisoning, including both short-term poisoning and long-term lead poisoning. It is saying whenever there is acute poisoning with the case with the lead or there is chronic poisoning, please use calcium disodium EDTA as an antidote. Sodium calcium EDTA came into medical use in 553. So now you can see 46 or 47 May you have that Lewisite is there, dimercaprol, right? Now we are discussing 53 or 1953. We are discussing about calcium EDTA. Sodium calcium is a chelating agent family of medication. So the basic mechanism through which it will go and bind with the poison or the and it causes chelation and it will remove, right? It is a salt of EDTA with two sodium atoms and one calcium atom. That is the name disodium and one calcium. It works for binding to a number of heavy metals which renders them almost inert. Once this EDTA go and bind with the heavy metal, the complex becomes inert. It will no longer cause any kind of reaction in your body and allows them to leave the body through urine. Right? EDTA is a different formulation which does not have the same effects. EDTA disodium, right? Calcium is not there, right? Sodium calcium EDTA primary use is treating lead poisoning, for which it is an alternative to succimer. Dimercaprol is there, succimer is there as a chelating agent. Another chelating agent is EDTA. In the class of chelating agent, these are the things. So it is used whenever the succimer is not available. Please go for the sodium calcium EDTA. Okay, given by slow injection into the vein or intra muscle. Okay, again similarly like dimercaprol, it is given through intramuscular, or else this one specifically given through IV parenteral route. For lead encephalopathy, so whenever encephalopathy is something related to brain, okay, so lead entering into the brain, then you have to use lead encephalopathy. Sodium is a typically used to treat with together with dimercaprol. So he is saying that because dimercaprol is a chelating agent, EDTA is also chelating agent, the combination is used for treatment of lead encephalopathy. It may also be used to treat plutonium poisoning. Again, this is a radioactive poisoning. Okay, so radioactive poisoning by itself is again a very vast topic. Definitely one or two questions you will have in your board with respect to radioactive poisoning. Today we might have ample data where we have a historical incidents through which we have learned. So now we have more protective measures, and specifically radioactive hazard safety rules are there. Whenever you are handling a radioactive material, now today we have much more preventive precautionary guidelines are available in order to handle the radioactive, but earlier they were not. So there were lot of accidental case which have occurred because of radioactive poisoning. So like we had uranium, strontium and plutonium also. If there is a plutonium poisoning, they are saying that please use EDTA as a antidote. Common side effects include pain at the site of use. So any parental injection for 2 to 3 hours definitely have some at the site of use, some pain will be there. Other side effects may include kidney problems. Okay, because elimination is through urine, maybe some deposition is there. For that reason, maybe some kidney problems, diarrhea, fever, muscle pains, and low fever. You can again commonly see. Next, we have the last option, deferoxamine. Okay, deferoxamine DFOA, also known as desferoxamine. Okay, sold under the brand name Desferal. Okay, there might be other marketing also available. Medication that binds iron and aluminum. So whenever there is iron poisoning or aluminum poisoning, the antidote is the drug of choice of antidote is desferoxamine. Specifically used in iron overdose. That iron overdose is nothing but in a chemical in medical term it is called hemochromatosis. Okay, either due to multiple blood transfusion or an underlying genetic condition, aluminum toxicity, and people in dialysis. What happens in the case of dialysis is that a patient blood will be taken out of his system, run through a dialysis machine, and it will put back into his body. It that the whole process may be from 4 to 5 hours. There will be again dialysis, again peritoneal dialysis is there. This um, um, so what I'm trying to say, there is a possibility that some blood loss or iron loss will be there. So at that time, if you're administering some iron injections, or there will be some overdose might be there. For that reason, it is saying that these are the various conditions. People who are on dialysis or there is a little bit of toxicity, all those things. Okay. Desferoxamine is used by injection into the muscle, vein, and under the skin. As you can see, dimercaprol be Vaita. Common side effects include pain at the site of injection, diarrhea, vomiting, fever, hearing loss, and eye problems. Okay. Severe allergic reactions called including anaphylaxis and low blood pressure may occur. Okay, anaphylaxis is important again. Okay, immune mediated reaction. There is a possibility that if there is severe, there will be fatality. Right. It is unclear if used during pregnancy or breastfeeding is safe for the baby. And you have to understand that during the pregnancy, pregnant women will be administered iron deficiency, iron tablets, or this low count of RBC. These things will be there. So we don't know whether this ferroxamine. We don't have ample data as of now whether this is safe in pregnant women or not. He meant to say. Desferoxamine is siderophore from the bacteria. So the source of origin here is bacteria Streptomyces pilosis, through which we are getting this one desferoxamine. And the class of the form it is saying siderophore. Was approved for medical use in 1968. इससे पहले 1953 we were discussing and now this we are discussing about 1968. Used to treat acute iron poisoning, especially in case of children, right? It is used to treat hematochromatosis, a disease from iron accumulation that can either genetic or acquired. So I hope you have learnt a lot during this. This was an extensive presentation actually, unlike the previous video one. Thank you so much. Be curious. If you have any questions, please comment. I will definitely go through the comments if I will be able to answer. And please like, subscribe, and follow my YouTube channel, Toxicology on Board. Thank you.